Okay, we're back.
Hello.
And
We have a
caught
picture
up
to
for the
show
first
you.
time ever.
Well, with YouTube,
Woo!
yes.
Yes.
Celebrate! Woo! Get down!
Thanks, Biff. All right, we has a picture to show you. It's by Neo. It's Tyrath fighting bugs that he calls the Battle of the Four-Leaf Clover. It is what it is. It's wonderful, as with everything that is drawn here. So thank you, Neo.
I don't think the bugs are gonna make it.
No, God no.
I give
Not.
him a 50-50.
Wow, that's generous, Piff.
Yeah.
For those of you listening who don't know, Criana's not here right now. Hopefully she'll stop by. Hopefully she'll come on in a little bit later on into the campaign. But we got her blessing to continue, so we're gonna just get going here.
Yeah.
So, when we last left off, the group was deciding how they want to handle the whole Mia situation. The woman who is caretaker for Deirdre, but definitely is more than that she seems. And after quite a bit of conversation with NPCs amongst themselves, they've pretty much come up with a plan. And so step one of the plan is they want to approach Gyro and ask for, I believe it's just a favor or something like that. So kind of let's set the scene then. So who's all going to approach Gyro? I know Tom is going to. Anyone else?
Al would go with them, but he'd probably let Tom do most of the talking.
Okay. Patrick, you going to come with?
Yes.
Okay.
He's generally excited about what's going on, so he's probably going to be as many events as he can be. And
All right. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm so excited. All right. So, you'll find Gyro. This time it's not within Green Castle itself. Just on the outside, the road leading up from the main town, up a slight hill towards the castle proper. You're able to find and flag down Gyro, and he, after a few words with some of his other men and women acting as the security personnel for Green Castle, he's able to come aside and talk with you, and he says, yeah?
All right, I'll get straight to the point.
All right.
The group feels that we need to get a little bit more information, and we have come up with a plan because this Mia character seems to be a really powerful psionic.
All right.
I was wondering if you could do me somewhat of a favor. In order for this plan to work, I might require some credentials.
All right. Mind going more into specifics?
Maybe like a license or something, or a writ, something like that, that states that you are ordering me to inspect the house. We have with our party I guess you can call her a telepath. I don't know what the wordage is, but going past that, she can read objects.
All right.
And our idea is I would go into the house because I'm a powerful psionic and I can defend myself against Mia's attacks. She will not be able to use her hypnotic suggestions against me, but getting an item of hers from inside the house and getting it to our telepath.
Right. The second you say that you're a powerful psychic, you notice that Gyro looks at you a little bit differently, but not enough for him to interrupt you or to say anything that might be distressing. But he does have definitely a more warier look about him. As he replies with, all right, so if I'm following your train of thought, you want to enact a little bit of subterfuge. I reckon you want to pretend to be one of my men?
Yes.
You show up there on a official capacity, right?
Yes.
You want some sort of writ or transcript?
Mm-hmm. And possibly get one of your seals branded it on my armor or something like that. And
Gyro.
after this is all done, we can take it off. You can destroy the whatever.
Gyro raises his hand for a little bit and goes, all right.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to do this, we're not going to half-ass it, right?
Mm-hmm.
My men have a uniform, and we have certain standards of body armor. And he flags on down an individual stopping by and goes, Casey, come here. And she does. He goes, once I've done talking with these folks, I want you to escort them down to our supply yard. I want you to find them a bit of body armor here, one of our official ones, right? Paint it all up like our forces. Give it to, make sure it fits this guy right here, and he points over to Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know Raul's probably going to ask some questions, but tell him it's on my authority, all right? And then he looks to you and goes, do you have a voice recorder?
Voice recorder. Out of character,
tape?
Patrick, do we have a voice recorder?
Like a data tape or something?
I'm checking right now. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Can I have it, please? He says. For a moment.
Tom will look over to Patrick.
All right. Patrick is going to fish out a audio digital disc recorder and player.
Great. And do you hand it over to Gyro?
Yes. Also with a blank disc.
All right, perfect. Gyro puts the disc in there, and after a few moments fiddling with the buttons in the front, you see him, he brings his mouth up to the microphone, and he goes, this is December 17th. This is the voice of Gyro B. For those who are listening, I want you to know that I have authorized this investigation. We've gotten a few complaints, and I'm sending my man here just to make sure everything is tip-top. Please treat him with the same respect you would give me, and thank you very much for your cooperation. If you have any problems or concerns, voice them to him, and I'll make sure he passes it on to me. All right, have a good day. Thanks. And then he turns it off and gives it to you and goes, I don't know if she can read, and frankly, I don't write a lot of things down. My voice is as good as gold around here. Will that work?
Yes, that'll work. Thank you. One last question.
Yeah?
If this turns out to not be... Can't remember her name.
Brienne.
Brienne. If this turns out to not be Brienne, but is, in fact, a DB that is doing something to the Queen, what would you like me to do?
Once you have finished your investigation, once you've determined everything that you need to determine and take the actions that you think is necessary, aka locate and terminate Bran or not, come back here. I'll free up a little bit of time, and we'll have ourselves a good old-fashioned debriefing. And at that point, we'll come across any sort of possible problems. Right now, there's a potential threat, and I'm hiring you to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not a threat, or if it's a different kind of threat, we'll jump that bridge when it comes there. I mean, jump that hurdle when it comes.
All right. And there is one last order of business.
Oh, is there?
Yes. I remember you offered to pay 50,000. Pay us back 50,000. You
Yep.
can keep it.
Oh, is that a consensus amongst all of you?
Tom will look over to Al and Patrick.
Al certainly has an eyebrow raised.
Patrick is shocked.
Well, by the looks of your friends, I don't know if that is a consensus. Tell you what, I'm really more worried about you doing it or not. Once we get our debrief, that's when payment will change hands, and at that point, you guys determine whether you want to take my money or not.
All right. And then, unless there's anything else that Gyro has anything to say.
No,
I mean,
he communicates that he is looking forward to a speedy and incident-free resolution to this matter, and he looks forward to your
report?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I will follow the other person over to the armor.
Sure. Well, we'll say for the sake of simplicity, we'll just narrate this. You are outfitted with a form of. It is actually. This is interesting. The style of the body is ex-coalition, ex-coalition Dead Boy armor, but the helmets seem to have been customly made to have more of an open visor, so they look less skull or skeleton-like, very much less. Like actually, it more resembles an urban combat, faceplate. Yes, and it's painted. It's one of the older. Like I said, the Red Sun's uniform or painted body armor is very similar to their current garb, with the exception of just like a special G imprinted on the rising sun motif. So, for all intensive purposes, while wearing that armor, you look like one of them. So there you go.
Cool. All right. Let's get everything together. I will grab a knapsack, put the heated rock from way back before when we first encountered the Lich King. Or not Lich King, Witchling. It rhymes. I'm sorry. Into that backpack, I will arm myself with a mega damage pistol.
All right, which one?
Let me actually grab one from this. The C18 laser pistol.
Okay, cool.
And I will also take the recording, and I do believe that is it.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, Al wanted to set up a sort of sniping position 1,000 feet away from the actual house.
Yeah.
Well,
before we get there, Al would at some point say, "So, look, I'm obviously not opposed to spending money, but what was that about?"
I think we should be doing this for free.
Oh,
honestly.
I'm not opposed to that either.
Yeah. Plus, we have a bunch of money. I'd rather most of the payment for the disabled lady came from us.
Al's,
you know what I mean?
Like, he thinks about it and he's like, I guess, I suppose. Al just kind of shrugs. Sure, I won't go against that. If you truly feel that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Hearing the reasoning behind it, he's definitely more agreeable.
Okay.
And I guess he'll leave it at that.
I mean, do you guys want the money?
Money doesn't hurt, and that was money fairly struck, but look, the honest truth is I don't care about money more than I care about you feeling like we're doing the right thing, so no.
So, maybe you guys were a bit different when you were... Maybe you guys are a bit different, but, when I was growing up, money meant quite a bit. It was scrounged for. 50 credits was hard to come by. You had to work for that. And 50,000? That is worth more than I have ever gotten before we've met. But if it's for morals, I don't mind.
Al
Okay.
will kind of shrug and say, I mean, you have a point, and I do understand the value of the money. I can't say I value that more than I value Tom's feelings. If we were starving, I might look at things differently, but he is right. It's not as though we are poor.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we need to remember before we leave Green Castle, we need to get more food.
That will
still
be
have-
something.
Yeah, we still have 2 months, but we already burned through a month. We still have a lot of time to go before your magic training is done.
Well, we can worry about that after we finish today's work.
Yeah.
All right. So, as mentioned before, about a mile or two northwest of Green Castle lies this ranch. How do you guys get there?
Well, first thing would be to probably that night, Al would need to go scout out a suitable, or as suitable as possible, sniping perch.
So, what to you is an ideal sniping perch?
Well,
Or
I can-
what
I-
to Al is an ideal sniping perch. No, just describe it to me.
Well, ow, cat, ow. It would preferably...
Like, is it up a tree? Is it on a hill? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Those aren't the important aspects. The important aspects is that it has some sort of elevation so that I have a clear sight of the entire house. Preferably inside a wooded or bushy area so that there's plenty of objects to break up my profile. But the most important aspect of it is to be able to have a good view of the house and a steady firing position.
Roll my D100.
Sure.
Okay. You're good for elevation. You can find it, and you're good for line of sight to the house within the 1,600 feet. Problem is that you're not able to find a good position that has a lot of, for lack of a better word, interference to break up your position. It is in the middle of the winter. There's snow everywhere. And the same places that give you elevation and sight does not have a lot of, trees or, dead brushes or anything like that. There is some good cover, but you're not going to have a great line of sight.
Okay.
So pretty much you have some choices. You have something that doesn't give you a low profile, but really good line of sight and elevation. Or you have something that gives you a good profile and elevation, but not good line of sight.
All right. Al would probably go back and he would go to Tom and say, Tom, you have paints, right? Do you have white?
Let me
you-
consult the handy dandy group loot sheet because I wrote down all of that stuff.
You sure did. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Paint
Thank
sprayer I
goodness
have.
for meticulousness.
Yes, white, black, dark metallic purple, blue, green, and red. So white.
Al would...
I can use that.
Al would ask, in the time we have available, to paint the juicer rifle and a suit of body armor white.
Okay. Roll me a D100 and do your weapon and like your inspect weapon quality maintenance thing for me. Let me know if you fail or pass.
Give me 1 second. As I...
So let me actually forward this to you, Inferno, to make sure you have this.
Right. Come here.
You did-
How are you?
Sheet.
I can see the Griff's group loot list as well.
All right, cool.
All right. So
I
okay,
know you're
so
gonna once you paint, you're gonna have to roll a percentile dice.
Yeah.
I failed by 12.
Oh boy. Okay. Because you failed, you realize. Well, I don't want to tell you what to think, but these are the concerns that you can't find a solution for because you failed the roll. Painting the armor is fine, That laser rifle has a lot of intricate parts inside of it, and painting the exterior, the paint might get into the inner workings. You would be worried that if you painted the gun from top to bottom, that you might damage it or gunk it up somehow.
Okay. Then, for this concern of safety, he would probably not do so.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, roll me that percentile dice to see if your paint sprayer jams up, because you got that old used
All right.
model.
Yeah. Skill roll. 30. I succeeded by 1.
Wow, good job. So it doesn't jam up. By 1, that doesn't leave a lot for mistakes, does it? But good
Yes.
job. Good roll. Very good roll.
I
Good job.
imagine
Right.
the paint sprayer like sputtered a few times.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's an excellent description. That's great. Yeah, you're able to paint the body armor. So Al, do me a favor, Squee, on your character sheet, write down the color of it, because when it's not winter, or when it is winter, it's going to make a difference.
Got
right?
it. All right, and I'm just doing this to one of the regular gladiators and the increased helmets, or the improved helmets. So
Sure.
I'll mark that.
Sweet. So yes, that's done. That part of your plan is done.
All right. Then he would at least an hour before Tom goes out there, he would go to make a wide berth around the ranch, go to the place that had the good line of sight.
By foot?
Yes. How far away is the ranch from walking distance from the behemoth?
I don't know. I don't even know. Remember, my first question to you guys was, how do you get to the ranch?
Yeah. I'm taking my motorcycle. We should leave the behemoth at Greencastle.
Right.
Like right outside Greencastle. So how far away is the ranch from Greencastle?
Right.
2 miles.
2 miles.
Oh, yeah.
Walk those 2 miles.
Yeah, Al would go by foot the 2 miles.
Okay.
He's going to find a nice, the elevator position. He's going to lay down in the prone position, and he's going to pack snow in a little mound, not only to help break up the profile, but to give him a steady platform for the rifle.
Okay.
And then he's going to sit there and wait quietly. I think it would be safe to say that they would communicate by radio once or twice, very quietly.
I don't know. Talk amongst your group here.
Yeah.
I want to know. I would like to know
Sure.
where Patrick is in all this, and any NPCs if you want any sort of backup in regards to that too. So,
I want to be alone to do this.
okay.
Be as the least threatening as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, I mean, unless you guys want to be near Al, 1,000 feet away, I don't think anybody else should be there. Maybe?
Patrick, your thoughts?
So, he is interested in what's going on. He generally wants to have the whole safety thing, but it seems like one of them's trying to... both things seem to be sort of intricate, sort of trick or manipulation or something like that, where he doesn't quite have a place in all of this.
Uh-huh.
So really all he can do is there's not much that he can do. Like, he can be the backup to the backup, but that's about it.
Okay, so NPCs, Mila, Pam, Jackie, Hannibal, Mrs. Mams, all back in Greencastle?
All in the behemoth, I would assume.
Okay, so and the
Yeah.
behemoth, you want the behemoth back in Greencastle, right?
Back at
Right.
Greencastle, yes.
Right.
Okay. So, Patrick, are you going to just be with the rest of the group? Rest of the clan? So this is just going to be an Al and Tom thing?
My instinct is yes. What do you guys think?
It depends. If shit hits the fan, do you want to be away from us and bring the ATV, or would you like to be with Al? Like
Being
somewhere.
with Al is probably not a good idea. If I was a far
Not-
distance away from Al, but generally
I'm-
in this vicinity, that should be fine.
I'm talking not like right next to him, but like in the forest or behind something, so you're not seen, but somewhere nearby.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the big weakness to our plan here is that if everything goes bad and Al loses sight of whoever or whatever, there's no way he's going to make it to them in time on foot. So if you were nearby somewhere in a faster moving vehicle, you would have to be the one to go in, if that makes sense.
Yes. How about if I'm generally somewhat close to you in a relative sense, like let's say 3,000, 5,000 feet, so something that's like
A big distance
solid
away.
distance,
You know?
but still near you with an ATV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want any of the NPCs to be in that ATV with Patrick?
Let's go with
It's like Mass
how about
Effect. Pick your team.
let's go with
Yeah.
Lee, and just in case Criana gets here, I'm gonna also take Criana.
Oh, yeah, sure. That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
also,
going to narratively stick her in there too, but I like that because they were left behind before and Mila just kept talking to Lee, so we're going to say there's a part 2 to that.
Yeah. I think for more preparation, I want to give Alicia old one shot loaded with a netter,
Okay.
and have her in the ATV as well, just in case.
That
Hooked.
is 4. That might be a type fit. I know
Not
that-
if she's in the gunner seat or something.
Yeah, not if she's in the gunner.
All right. It's. I would say not a single other thing could get in. Maybe Jackie, maybe the dog, in a pinch, Mrs. Mams.
Wait, can't the ATV fit 4 people? Isn't there a driver's seat, a front seat, and 2 back seats?
No, there's no back seats.
Oh, there's no back
No, there's
seats.
no back seats.
There's
Big-ass
technically
cargo lift, yeah.
3 front seats and a gunner's area.
Oh, okay, I
That's
see.
it.
Yeah.
I see. Okay,
Think of it like an old school pickup truck.
right. Got it. I'm with
Yeah.
you. I'm tracking now.
Yeah.
So
I
Alicia
think-
coming on the cargoes in the gunner seat. You'll
Yeah.
hear a comment be like, "You'll be lucky I'm in my armor because I don't appreciate the concept of me freezing my ass up here while you 3 stay in front." But that's more just giving you a hard time. She doesn't. It's not an actual complaint.
Do you want to bring Miss Mams?
I was gonna say you might hear on the radio, "I'm laying on the snow."
More like, I'm laying on the snow.
Yeah.
In body armor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
you're-
is
you're
climate
Sure.
Unless the climate control is broken now, you can just shut the fuck up. She says.
You'll hear a chuckle.
Yeah.
So no, Mrs. Mams is not coming with us.
Yeah.
Sadly.
She's gonna be in the Horn Behemoth.
Okay.
We could give her a speed mushroom,
So-
but yeah.
We have a really, oh my god, just a big trench through the snow as Mrs. Mams goes to her next big adventure. Anyway, it looks like we're ready to get this plan started. I just have to
Yes.
visit the Banos, El Bathrumo, real quick so I don't interrupt halfway through this. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sweet. I will try to do a better job in the future. That I discuss a lot of possibilities, but I don't intend to make any, especially any violent or crazy actions, unless there really is no other choice.
You know, that's
I don't know.
okay. We have you bring up options, not what we're going to do.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
It was just the whole we're going to this place, we're seeing the queen, and immediately we are all suspicious of this Meg person.
Right.
Just kind of
She did very
instantly
suspicious
suspicious.
things. Well, she
Why?
hypnotized Nora. Don't you think we're
Yeah,
justified
but that
in
was
suspicion?
after. That was after we were. You guys were already suspicious at that point of this lady doing something to the queen.
Actually,
That was the problem.
Oh, God.
Actually, we weren't. We were not
Yeah,
suspicious of that.
let's-
Anyway.
Let's
Hi,
talk about
Inferno.
there.
Yeah. Hi, Inferno.
Hi. Good. Dad's here. Shut the fuck up. We're gonna play this game and have a good time.
God fucking damn it! I will turn this RP around. God damn it!
Yeah, I'll turn this goddamn campaign around. You all want to have heart attacks? Huh?
You're going
do it.
west. All with heart attacks.
Shit.
Now the campaign is over.
You know what? An interdimensional rift appears above everybody. You are now in Chi-Town, and fuck.
That's ridiculous. Anyway. That's ridiculous. Anyway, back to the psychic lady. All right. So, so let me just set the scene then. All right. So through the snow drives Tom on your motorcycle?
Yes.
Interesting. We'll get to that in a moment. Al is about 15 to 1,600 feet away from the ranch, the small ranch. Turning on your thermal imager beforehand, you're able to see 2 figures in the house and 6 figures in the barn, although they don't look human. They have large masses, implying some sort of livestock, with the exception of one small mass, which implies a smaller type of livestock, all nestled there in the barn, and 2 figures in the home itself. Patrick is a good 5,000 feet or so, with Mila, Lee, and Alicia, all out of sight, completely out of sight of the actual ranch itself, and from Al. You all have your radios in your body armor, or for those of you in the vehicle, in the ATV, or a handheld radio, perhaps. But I believe we all have lines of communication to each other as well. So
Yeah.
that's good. So, Tom, I'd like you to give me a piloting check, please.
Okay. Let's see.
Minus 10.
Yeah.
So make it harder by 10.
Bop, bop.
Okay.
I succeed by 26.
All right. So driving the motorcycle, there isn't a clear path, obviously, from Greencastle to this ranch. There's a few kind of footpaths or a few areas where the behemoth in the day previous created some imprints, and you're able to use that to navigate to the ranch without any sort of hiccup, without the snow causing you too much problems or causing you to slide off into a ditch somewhere, anything like that. Or snowdrift, I guess I would say. So you approach, once again, probably park your motorcycle, and you approach the front of the ranch.
Mhm.
What do you do, homie?
I will knock on the door.
Okay. Hello, who is it? No, just kidding. Housekeeping. I didn't know we had a Foley artist here. I'm impressed. Anyway.
Yeah.
After a few seconds, the door opens just a little bit. I would say a few inches, as you see Mia's face kind of peek out. She looks at you carefully, and she sees your armor, and she says, "Hello, do I know you?"
Really quickly, is it afternoon, noon, evening?
Flexible, we're going to say afternoon.
Okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. There has been some complaints. I have been sent here by Gyro Bead to inspect the property to make sure everything is all safe and hospitable living environment. I have my credentials right here if you would like to take a listen.
She gives a little nod.
I will play the recording back for her.
Okay. And with that, she gives a bit of a sigh, and she opens up the door and she lets you in. And she, as you're coming in, she'll say, "This has to do with the people that came here yesterday, doesn't it?"
Yes, unfortunately, they complained.
Listen, I don't know what story they told you, but you need to understand my perspective, all right? And I want you to take this back to Gyro and realize all of this, okay?
Mhm.
I was simply taking care of Deirdre as was arranged.
Mhm.
These people came to my door, 4 of them, stammering and wanting to see her to make sure everything was okay. They were curious and they wanted to make sure she was all right. Against my better judgment, I let them into my home. All right?
Mhm.
A few of them came in to see Deirdre, and while I was speaking with one of them who wanted to take blood from her for some strange reason, the other one started to disrobe and wanted to put that poor frail woman in magic armor. Did you or Gyro know that?
Tom will let out a big sigh and go, "Son of a bitch." No, they forgot to mention that.
Yeah, I thought as much, and you can see Mia relax at least a little bit in while conversing with you, and she goes, "I thought as much. So, of course, I'll show you around as you like, but realize that you can't trust everybody."
I realize full well. I just need a few minutes. I'll look at the facilities, everything, possibly look at the barn. I just need a report to Gyro, and everything will be hunky dory.
Why does Gyro need to look at the barn? She asks.
He just wants to be thorough.
She goes, "All right, well, I'll take you out to show you that first." And then she is interrupted by a cry from Deirdre, her cracked, frail voice being, "No, no, tell him I don't want to see it anymore. I'm done with this. I'm done." And she's starting to sound a little bit more agitated. And Mia kind of gives a bit of an apologetic smile, and she goes, I'll be right back. I just have to help her. She's just having a phase, I guess. It helps if she sees someone. Are you okay here, or do you? No. She says, not necessarily. Queen Deirdre doesn't usually get violent. Just some reassuring words. You can come and watch if you want, but if that's distressing to you, you can stay here, she says. Up to you.
All right. Actually, do you mind if I get myself a drink of water?
She goes, "Oh, yeah, go ahead. Glasses are in just that cupboard there.
Okay.
And I'll be back in just a moment." And
Thank you.
she excuses herself. She parts the large piece of fabric that separates this kind of kitchen living room area from the bedroom where Deirdre is, and she closes it behind her. And in the background, you can hear her reassure in a soft, low voice to try to reassure Queen Deirdre, who is still kind of going on and on about not wanting some sort of gift.
Yeah.
Now, since you guys telegraphed your plan a little bit, I can let you know what's right now where you're standing. You're probably looking for some small objects to pick up, obviously, right?
Mhm.
So I'll let you know what is within the direct vicinity that might be applicable. Now, if you have something else in mind, feel free to ask. But, oh my God, there we go. So you have, of course, there's some metal utensils, a fork, knife, and a spoon, a few of them, some in a wooden sink, some of them on a nearby table that you guys were sitting, well, Mila and Patrick were sitting at the day before. There's a half roll of duct tape, a pencil, 3 small seashells that seem to be resting on a windowsill nearby, a small key also on the windowsill, a pair of work boots, a stick of gum, it looks like, and a dish rag.
Well, if I recall correctly, the last time that we used sense the read objects. It was
Mhm.
with a spoon, right?
I don't know. I can't, I don't know. What
That
am I, like the
was-
DM?
Yeah, that was with James T, and it was Roger's spoon, if I recall correctly. It was covered in dirt, and we
Oh
used
yeah, yeah,
object
yeah,
read on
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yep.
So that is actually what I'm going to try and pocket first.
Okay.
And also, just to play along, I want to actually get a glass of water.
Okay. Sure. No problem. The water's not a problem.
Yeah.
Now, pocketing the spoon. Um, the body armor, I guess, would have some pouches on it, I suppose, like an ammo pouch or whatnot. Still, I'm going to have you roll a conceal check.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, the spoon isn't sticking out anywhere or anything like that. It's going to be relatively easy. Yeah, give me a moment, homie.
Okay.
What's your conceal percentage at?
I don't have one, but
Okay.
remember, I have that knapsack with that hot rock.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just?
So you just
toss
want to put in the knap? Okay, yeah, you can just put in the knapsack. Okay, sure, no problem. And I guess there's really no need to conceal. All right.
Yeah.
So, after you get yourself a drink of water, and about 4.5 minutes pass. Now, obviously, you're not radioing to anyone. Any other players? Are there any specific actions you want to say or do during this time, or are you good? Al, it's pretty clear. You're having no problems marking the heat signatures, and you're able to at least visualize heat signatures moving in and around the property, as I've kind of described for the scene already for Tom.
Okay.
Okay, so what was I going to say? About 4.5 minutes come back, and Mia once again emerges from there, and she says, there we are. I'm very sorry. She's resting now a little bit. She's a little bit more at ease. Did Gyro want you to take a look at her? You can probably poke your head in and make sure she's okay, that I'm not hurting her. Although those people probably were going to hurt her. She murmurs.
Yeah, actually, if that's all right, now that she's calmed down.
Mm-hmm. And so she takes you in, and she allows you to poke your head in, of course, to take a look. And you see Queen Deirdre under 3 different wool blankets, with her head rested to one side. She looks like she's sleeping, but it's not a very restful sleep. Her old frail hands are twitching from time to time. Her lips are moving as if she's sleep talking to herself, but you don't hear anything. And her eyes are kind of half open. I'm also assuming that during this entire time you have mind block up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's double check. You probably have it written down. The duration
Yes.
of mind block?
80 minutes.
Okay. Oh, goodness. You're fine for that. I was going to have you respend the ISP, but you're good for now. All right. Mia gives a bit of a, not a smile, right? But kind of a, there she is, before she escorts you out. And then she starts, do you smell something burning? She says.
Shit. I don't say that in character, but out of character, I'm going, fuck. I don't know. Do I?
There's nothing around here, I don't think, she says. It smells like leather or fabric.
Give me a second out of character to think of something to say.
I'll give you a moment.
Shit, I didn't think of this. And it makes a ton of sense, too.
Thank you.
Yep. Checkmate, motherfucker!
Not checkmate. I'm just like, okay, there's the heat rock. It's used to heat up stuff. It's not going to catch it on fire. But after, a few minutes, it's going to press up against that and get hot. Oh,